From alien-looking creatures lurking deep in the ocean to creepy critters that you might mistake for SpongeBob, strange beings have been spotted walking along the ocean floor. But here's the twist. No one knows where they came from or what they really are. Today, we'll be taking a closer look at their appearance, behavior, and possible origins, and we'll explore the theories scientists have come up with so far. Prepare to be amazed by the unknown. 1. An alien-looking creature was spotted transforming near the ocean floor at over 3,700 feet. Catching something downright bizarre on camera deep in the Indian Ocean isn't your everyday oceanography gig. Back in 2013, viewers got more than they bargained for when Captain JRD's YouTube channel featured an alien creature 3,700 feet underwater transforming right before their eyes. The spectacle, recorded by a remotely operated vehicle, ROV, shows this enigmatic creature shifting shapes after a close encounter with the ROV's thrusters. The reaction was wild. One viewer exclaimed, "This is why I never go more than 1,000 feet underwater," while another was mesmerized by the change from a curious symbol to a glowing entity adorned with pulsating lights. There's a good chance this mysterious floater was a comb jelly, a deep-sea variety that shimmers like a rainbow when it swims and uses either its expansive stomach or tentacles to snag a snack. Steve Haddock from the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute describes their feeding tactics as diverse as spiders, each species with its unique way of capturing dinner. 2. Scientists' hilarious reaction to bizarre deep-sea fish. Spotting a juvenile gulper eel showing off its acrobatics in the deep sea is certainly a head-scratcher. This quirky scene unfolded near Hawaii in the Papahanaumokuakea Marine National Monument, where the Nautilus team, led by Robert Ballard, was surveying for marine life. Which one is cuter? Like for the dog comment for the cat. They got more than they bargained for when this young eel, which can balloon up like a party trick, inflated itself into a massive black balloon right on cue. "Big gulp," they exclaimed, thoroughly amused by the eel's dramatics. Its mouth stretches wider than you'd believe, mainly to snag small crustaceans. Though it's equipped to gulp down larger fish if the pickings are slim, why does it puff up and then shrink back to size? Theories suggest it's a defense tactic when threatened. 3. Deep-sea burrowing fish attack. During Dive 16, scientists stumbled upon a scene straight out of an underwater thriller. We're talking about a benthic fish lurking from its burrow, snatching up a midwater fish with the precision of a seasoned sniper. Onlookers, just a few quill worms hanging around the scene. This wasn't just any fish. Initially puzzling researchers with its identity, this crafty creature resembled both an offshore toadfish and a wrymouth. But thanks to a freeze frame right before the action, we spotted key features, confirming it's an Atlantic midshipman, a species previously spotted on dives 14 and 15 as well. What makes the Atlantic midshipman special, apart from its stealthy skills, is its lightning-fast strike, so rapid that you'd need super slow motion just to catch the action. The unfortunate victim, a barracuda, already looked a bit rough before its dramatic exit, sporting a frayed mucus coat and a strip of skin trailing behind. 4. Googly-eyed, stubby squid. There's something inherently hilarious about spotting a creature that looks like it wandered off a Pixar movie set, especially when it's as quirky as the purple squid, spotted by scientists aboard the EV Nautilus off Southern California. This little guy, known as a stubby squid, Rossia pacifica, calls the Northern Pacific Ocean home, stretching from Japan to California. Normally found lounging on the ocean floor at depths of around 984 feet, they've been known to hang out as deep as 4,260 feet, as noted by the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute. What really got the researchers chuckling were the squid's enormous eyes, which seemed almost cartoonishly large. Initially mistaken for a cuttlefish, further study with experts from the University of California, Santa Barbara, and Embari confirmed its stubby squid status. These creatures are not just a pretty face. They're clever nocturnal hunters who use sticky mucus to cover themselves with sand and pebbles for camouflage. Imagine the surprise on this little squid's face, caught off guard by the bright lights of the Nautilus during their 4-month mission. exploring the mysteries of the eastern Pacific Ocean. 5. Garden eels of Hawaii. Talk about having a unique lifestyle. These native Hawaiians, known as garden eels, have really got it down to a science. Just peeking out from their burrows, they catch zooplankton swept their way by strong currents, never venturing far from home. Planted firmly in one spot for life, hundreds of them can be found only in the Hawaiian waters, each clinging to the same patch of ocean floor. Their large eyes are more than just striking. They're essential for spotting danger, like the roving tiger shark. However, this particular shark isn't interested in these slender residents. It's on a bigger mission, cruising about 500 miles northwest in search of a more substantial feast. While these eels are mostly peaceful, don't be fooled. When it comes to neighbors, males can get pretty fierce, engaging in brutal fights over territory. But for the most part, it's a calm, plankton-fueled existence, unless a fellow eel gets too close for comfort. 6. Whale Fall Spectacle. Here's a twist from your everyday oceanic discovery. In October 2018, the U.S. deep-sea research vessel Nautilus stumbled upon a spectacle seldom seen by human eyes, a rare whale fall. Deep in the Californian waters, at a breathtaking depth of 3,200 meters, lay the remains of a baleen whale about 4 to 5 meters long. This underwater banquet drew a crowd of deep-sea creatures eager to partake in the unexpected feast. Whale fall is what scientists call it when a whale's carcass descends into the ocean's abyss. As it plunges, scavengers swiftly consume most of the soft tissues. By the time it hits the seafloor, only some scraps and bones remain, which then become a gourmet meal for bottom-dwelling organisms. Ultimately, the leftover skeleton is gradually decomposed by bacteria, completing this deep-sea drama. 7. Rare deep-sea dwelling oarfish washes up near San Diego. Spotting an oarfish off the San Diego coast isn't just rare, it's practically a marine biology jackpot. This happened when snorkelers and kayakers at La Jolla Cove stumbled upon a 12-foot-long serpent-like oarfish, an elusive creature rarely seen outside the ocean's deep, dark mesopelagic zone. They managed to transport this giant on a paddleboard and then by truck for scientists at Scripps Institution of Oceanography and NOAA to get a closer look. Now, oarfish have this mythical reputation as harbingers of, let's say, unusual events. Though there's no scientific evidence to back this up, they can grow up to 20 feet. This particular find is only the 20th recorded in California since 1901. In 2013, similar findings led some researchers to ponder if seismic activities could affect these deep-sea dwellers. Dr. Rachel Grant even suggested that unusual underwater events might push oarfish to the surface. 8. High-fin dragonfish. You might not think you'd find a blonde cigar floating around the deep seas, but that's exactly what happened off Monterey Bay, California. In May 2022, researchers at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute captured video footage of the elusive high-fin dragonfish, a rare creature shaped just like that, a blonde cigar. This peculiar fish, part of the crocodile lizardaceae family, grows up to 16 centimeters and lurks at depths between 225 and 1,370 meters along the North American west coast, from Canada all the way down to Baja California. What makes the high-fin dragonfish a standout isn't just its unique metallic blonde color, which cleverly absorbs the scant blue light in its deep-sea home, making it almost invisible. It's also its rare appearance on camera. Despite over 20,600 hours of deep-sea footage collected over 3 decades, this fish has only graced the screens 4 times. It uses long, fin-like filaments to sense vibrations around it, perfect for detecting dinner or danger in the pitch-black depths. 9. Translucent Deepstaria jelly whorls with resident isopod. Some scientists were cruising the depths between the US and Australia when they stumbled upon a ghostly jellyfish that could easily be mistaken for a phantom from the deep. As they watched, this eerie creature, known as Deepstaria, unfurled its sheet-like bell, revealing a complex geometric mesh designed to distribute nutrients. Caught on camera, this jellyfish shifted from a crumpled bag to a graceful billowing blanket in a captivating underwater ballet. Discovered in the 1960s by a submersible named the Deep Star 4000, Deep Staria has only been seen about a dozen times, shrouded in as much mystery as the ocean depths it inhabits. What's even more fascinating, this jellyfish doesn't use the typical tentacles to catch its dinner. Instead, it may use its expansive bell as a net. During this encounter, a bright red isopod was spotted inside its bell. Was it an uninvited guest, a snack, or maybe something else? Every sighting of Deep Staria is a reminder of the ocean's endless mysteries, just waiting to be uncovered. 10. 13-foot sea creature washes ashore on Bonfil Beach. Catching some rays on a tourist beach takes an unexpected turn when you stumble upon a massive sea creature that looks like it swam right out of a horror flick. This bizarre occurrence happened on Bonfil Beach in Acapulco, Mexico, where a 13-foot-long mystery beast had beachgoers scratching their heads and whipping out their cameras. The creature, caught up by the strong currents hitting the Mexican coast, sparked a flurry of photo ops and wild guesses about its origins. Was it a whale, a giant squid, or something else entirely? Rosa Camacho, who leads the Civil Guard and Fire Brigade, weighed in, noting the creature hadn't been dead long and surprisingly wasn't giving off any foul odors despite its quick decay. It's 4 meters long and was found right here on Bonfil Beach, she confirmed. As images of the creature hit the internet, debates exploded online, with everyone throwing in their 2 cents about the identity of our mysterious sea visitor. 11. Magna Pinna squid attack. An ROV video spotted a Magna Pinna squid at an oil development site, a first for these enigmatic creatures. Known as big fin squids, these beings could pass for extras in a sci-fi movie with their elephant ear-like fins and ghostly trailing tentacles. Only glimpsed about a dozen times worldwide, these squids remain largely a mystery to scientists. The species was first described in 1998 by Michael Vecchione of NOAA and Richard Young of the University of Hawaii. To date, 4 distinct Magna Pinna species have been identified, but it's a bit of a puzzle which one appeared in the Perdido video. M. pacifica and M. atlantica are both Gulf of Mexico residents. While there's no groundbreaking scientific discovery about their presence, this footage showcases how oil industry ROVs are revealing the hidden lives of deep-sea dwellers. This partnership has opened new doors for biologists, although it does raise some eyebrows over potential conflicts of interest. 12. The giant phantom jelly. In November 2021, researchers at Mbari had a rare encounter with this elusive creature using their ROV Doc Ricketts nearly a kilometer below the surface in Monterey Bay. Imagine a creature whose bell spans over a meter across and boasts ribbon-like arms stretching more than 10 meters. Now that's a showstopper. Despite thousands of dives, Mbari's team has only spotted this magnificent jelly 9 times since its first discovery in 1899. With its broad distribution across global ocean basins, except the Arctic, you'd think they'd be everywhere, but they're incredibly hard to spot. Traditional trawl nets turn these jellies to mush, so thank goodness for Mbari's high-tech ROVs and their cameras that capture these jellies in all their glory, providing invaluable insights into their mysterious deep-sea lives. 13. Anglers. You might think the deep sea is all gloom and doom, but switch off those submersible headlights and voila, a fireworks show like no other, all thanks to the residents of the deep. Take, for instance, the deep-sea anglerfish lighting up the darkness with a glow courtesy of bacteria nestled in its lure, all to snag unsuspecting prey. It's not just a fancy light show down there. These fish, known as anglers, are the underwater equivalent of fly fishermen, cleverly using their glowing lures to hunt squid with massive peepers. The lights aren't just decoration, they're deadly tools in the pitch-black waters, floating eerily below a set of fearsome teeth. These lures bring a whole new meaning to dining by candlelight in the ocean's depths. 14. When a giant sea creature took over a Philippine beach. There's embarrassing, and then there's accidentally becoming a viral sensation. because a gigantic, mysterious sea creature chose your backyard to take its last breath. That's exactly what happened in the Philippine province of Oriental Mindoro, when locals stumbled upon what was affectionately dubbed the globster. This enormous, truck-sized mass from the deep had everyone scratching their heads, including Vox Cruzada, a fishery law enforcement officer who suspected it to be whale remains. This 20-foot-long grayish-white carcass wasn't just a sight to behold. It packed a pungent punch with a smell that could clear out a room. Brave souls like Cruzada, who collected tissue samples, knew this all too well. The creature measured about 4 feet wide at one end and 2 feet at the other, requiring a team effort with ropes to drag it onto the beach for a closer look. Videos quickly hit the internet before the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources stepped in to handle the situation. This wasn't a first for the Philippines. Back in February 2017, a similar mysterious marine blob had made headlines in the Dinagat Islands, later confirmed to be a whale, just like our smelly friend might turn out to be pending DNA results. Both had strange hair-like strands that experts believe are decomposed muscle fibers, making them look more like creatures from a sci-fi movie than the ocean. 15. New species of jellyfish spotted in Java Trench. Diving into the depths of the Indian Ocean, you might expect some surprises, but spotting an otherworldly creature, that's a whole new level of wild. During the 5 Deeps expedition, diver Victor Vescovo might have just made the discovery of a lifetime in the Java Trench, believed to be the deepest part of the ocean. While exploring, Vescovo and his team encountered a bizarre, jellyfish-like entity, which they captured on film, dubbing it a gelatinous animal like no other. The creature, thought to be a type of tunicate, seemed almost artificial in appearance. Alan Jameson, the chief scientist of the expedition, after a chat with Japanese experts, suggested it could be an ascidian that's adapted uniquely to its deep-sea environment, possibly elevating itself above the seafloor due to seismic shakes. Now holding the title of the deepest diving Brit, Jameson is also mapping the ocean floor with the Nippon Foundation Gebko Seabed 2030 project, having already charted 150,000 square kilometers. This rare jellyfish cameo, just the icing on the cake for these deep-sea explorers. 16. Mystery creature spotted by boat captain leaves viewers guessing. Oh, the things you'll see off the coast of North Carolina. When Captain Daniel Griffey spotted something unusual swimming in the port of Morehead City on January 3rd, it sparked a frenzy of guesses online. The video he captured, which quickly racked up over 123,000 views on the Chase and Tails Outdoors Bait and Tackle Facebook page, showed a creature that seemed straight out of a fantasy novel. Was it a whale, an alligator, or dare we say, the Loch Ness Monster itself? The 43-second clip showed the mystery guest slithering through the water, surfacing now and then to the delight and bewilderment of viewers. Comments flew in fast. One eagle-eyed fan insisted, "That's a gator, you can see the eyes on top of its head," while others speculated about manatees, or even Nessie vacationing in North Carolina. But Captain Griffey put the rumors to rest, identifying the creature as a right whale calf separated from its mother, not the mythical monster some had hoped for. Who knew dolphins could be so deceiving? 17. Massive unidentified sea monster caught on video off oil rig. Capturing something bizarre on camera is one thing, but snagging a shot of a mysterious creature from the deep, that's another level of wow. This happened 2 years ago, deep in the Gulf of Mexico, about 5,000 feet underwater. It took a while, but marine biologists have finally figured out what this brownie-orange blob actually is. While monitoring an oil rig, a camera operator caught this giant, floating enigma on film. The unusual sighting baffled marine biologists who had to dig through history books and old files to crack the case. Thanks to some keen observations at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Center, including a look at its unique gonads, they identified it as a placental jellyfish. This cool critter can stretch up to 2 feet wide and usually hangs out in the chillier waters of the Antarctic. 18. Real-life SpongeBob and Patrick. SpongeBob and Patrick have been spotted not on TV, but chilling at the bottom of the ocean. In a quirky twist of nature imitating art, marine researchers using a remotely operated vehicle caught sight of a bright yellow sponge alongside a pink sea star during Noah's Atlantic Stepping Stones expedition, deep down at 6,184 feet off New England's coast. It didn't take long for marine biologist Christopher Marr from the Smithsonian to make the Nickelodeon connection, even tweeting about this real-life SpongeBob and Patrick moment. The duo isn't just any deep-sea buddies. The sponge is from the rare bright yellow genus Hertwiegia, and the pink pal belongs to Chandrasta. There's a twist though. Unlike their cartoon counterparts, these two might not be the best of friends, since pink stars are known to snack on sponges. Despite their predatory relationship, SpongeBob's creator, marine scientist Stephen Hillenburg, would have appreciated this find, which not only mirrors his characters, but also shines a light on the mysterious, often overlooked depths of our oceans. 19. Arctic sponges crawl around the seafloor and leave bizarre brown trails to prove it. In the Arctic, scientists have uncovered the first ever evidence of sponges moving across the seafloor. Before this, everyone thought these ancient creatures, which have been around for 600 million years, just sat around. But in 2016, aboard the Polar Stern vessel, researchers noticed something odd at Langseth Ridge, deep under the ice-covered waters at depths of 2,300 to 3,300 feet. They spotted brown trails left behind by sponges. These weren't just any trails, they were made of spicules, tiny sponge spines, showing these guys can actually crawl by, expanding and contracting. 3 sponge species, Geodia parva, Geodia henschel, and Stelletta rhaphidophora, were caught in the act. This movement isn't a fluke either. 70% of the images captured showed these trails. It looks like these sponges are on the move, probably hunting for better spots to feed in their sparse, icy home. Even the young ones are getting in on the action, moving to set themselves up for a better future. 20. A fish with a see-through head and rotating eyes. Catching a glimpse of something as elusive as the barrel-eye fish with its see-through head and glowing green eyes is no small feat. Scientists at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute struck gold off California's coast in Monterey Bay. Despite over 5,600 dives, this rare creature has only shown itself 9 times. Diving deep at 2,132 feet, Mbari's ROV spotted the fish, setting the scene for quite the show. This deep-sea dweller navigates the twilight zone of the ocean, between 2,000 and 2,600 feet deep, with eyes that pivot upwards and forward to spot its next meal, usually zooplankton and jellyfish. Its transparent head isn't just for show. It shields the barrel-eye from stinging attacks while it hunts. Discovered in 1939, yet still largely mysterious, this fish shared the spotlight in the Into the Deep exhibition at the Monterey Bay Aquarium in 2022. 21. Spy in the ocean robot pufferfish. Take the male pufferfish, a true artist of the sea. He meticulously carves gullies with his fin and sweeps sand into artistic ridges. His masterpiece, a nest designed to woo the choosiest of females. But when Spy Puffer tries his luck, the female pufferfish is hard to impress. She's on the hunt for perfection, scrutinizing every detail for flaws. Undeterred, our suave sculptor hustles to clear any debris marring his creation. Yet something's still missing, those crucial decorative shells that don't just beautify, but also fortify the nest against disruptive currents. Alas, he's out of shells, just as the female starts to drift away, unimpressed. Enter Spy Puffer, the wingman, or fin man, who dashes in with the needed shells, saving the day. With the nest now up to par, the female approves. They cozy up, and soon eggs are laid and fertilized, ensuring another generation of artistic pufferfish swims on. 22. Shape-shifting fish that confounded scientists for 100 years spotted off California coast. Diving deep into the ocean is always an adventure, but when scientists piloting a remote submarine off Monterey Bay, California, stumbled upon a bright orange female whalefish at 6,600 feet, it was a spectacular moment. This wasn't just any fish. Whalefish sightings are a rarity, with just 18 spotted in 34 years by the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute. Discovered back in 1895, perspective, these creatures remain largely a mystery. They start life as tape-tails, scaleless larvae with extended tails. As they grow, males morph into big noses, ditching their jaws for scales and existing merely to carry sperm. Females, on the other hand, transform into stunning creatures that resemble small baleen whales, equipped with lateral lines to detect water pressure and an orange hue that blends perfectly with the deep sea's ambiance. It wasn't until 2009 that scientists connected the dots between taptails, big noses, and whalefish, thanks to mitochondrial gene studies, unraveling a puzzle that baffled researchers for a century. And while we've cracked the code for one species, many secrets of the whalefish family tree are still waiting in the deep, where these fish typically dwell between 4,920 and 11,500 feet and rise to about 2,000 feet at night to feed. 23. Halitrephes jelly. Talking about a surprise from the deep, 2017 ended with a splash as Blue Planet 2 turned everyone's attention to the eerie and captivating depths of our oceans. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, scientists dropped footage of a jellyfish that could easily double as a deep-sea firework display. Dubbed the Halitrephes marci jellyfish, this glowing marvel was discovered 4,000 feet below the surface near the Revillagigedo archipelago off the coast of California and Mexico. Most of the time, it's cloaked in darkness, but under the ship's lights, it bursts into life, looking like a vibrant fireworks show with dazzling yellows and pinks. This show-stopping moment came courtesy of researchers aboard the EV Nautilus, who stumbled upon the jelly during their mission to uncover the secrets of oceanic seamounts in the Eastern Pacific. What a way to light up the new year! 24. The Portuguese Man o' War. Believe it or not, the Portuguese Man of War isn't a jellyfish at all. It's a siphonophore, a whole team of creatures banding together. There are 4 separate polyps, each with a job to do. At the top, you've got a gas-filled bladder that floats and looks a bit like an old warship, earning it the nickname Man of War, or Blue Bottle, for its striking purple-blue hue. Then there are the tentacles, long venomous appendages stretching up to a whopping 165 feet, though they usually hang around 30 feet. These are decked out in nematocysts, which paralyze prey with a sting that's incredibly painful to humans, though rarely fatal. And yes, even the washed-up ones on the beach can sting you, so watch your step. The third polyp takes care of digestion, and the fourth is all about reproduction. These fascinating creatures drift in warm seas worldwide, sometimes in massive groups of over 1,000, cruising along on ocean currents and winds. They can even duck underwater briefly by deflating their topside bladders when danger lurks. 25. The misunderstood deep-sea scavenger. When Rolling Stone magazine tossed out the term vampire squid to describe Goldman Sachs in 2010, they painted a picture of greed. But let's clear the waters a bit. The real vampire squid is no bloodsucker. This odd creature makes its home in the ocean's depths, specifically between 600 and 900 meters down in what's known as the oxygen minimum zone, a place not many marine guests can handle. The vampire squid's got a unique dining habit. It's not out chasing its next meal, but rather catching whatever bits float its way. Think marine snow-like feces and dead organisms. It uses 2 long, hair-lined filaments to snag this falling buffet, wraps it up in mucus, and sends it straight to its mouth. Living off the ocean's leftovers allows this deep-sea dweller to thrive in its dark and oxygen-scarce habitat, proving that one creature's trash is another's treasure. Have you ever wondered what mysteries lie beneath the ocean's surface? What would you do if you came across strange creatures walking on the ocean floor? No one seems to know where they came from or what they truly are. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for more fascinating discoveries from the deep.